Alright, into customs, and this build is going to involve Phoenix, which is going to result in a lot of draws, and so that's why we're starting on turn 8 here, because it's going to be a very long game. Now, this is a familiar sight for me recently. I've been, anytime I'm going for one of these oddball teams, I do tend to play a lot of games until I get into these kind of scenarios where we can get the triple Cyclops set up. Sometimes it's only a double Cyclops, but anything that's going to help us get the linchpin unit to level 3 as soon as possible. Now, some of the builds don't require a high level, but this one you absolutely need the level 3 Anubis, otherwise it's not going to be able to trigger the Phoenix. Now this team looks pretty weak, but actually the level 3 Kangaroo is going to save them. We do have a chance to win here if the Mana Snipe hits the Kangaroo, but it hits the Tamarin instead, so it's a tie. Not the first tie that we've had in this run, and it's not going to be the last either. Now, I made a mistake there. I probably should have just ignored the cow and kept the chocolate frozen. Because in the original plan for this, I wanted to have Unicorn alongside Anubis, so that when the Phoenix generates the crisp, the Unicorn can actually heal it. Now, I make a mistake here bringing in the Platypus, just the default fill up the squad and then, get extra gold next turn. But of course, it's going to prevent the Anubis from doing anything. But luckily this opposing team is very, very weak for turn 9, and so we're going to win anyway. I should have just combined the Cyclops together, but yeah, I was greeding trying to get high level Unicorn and high level Anubis. But I think at this stage I'm probably just going to give up on the Unicorn and go with one of the other options that was available. As we get triple duck in the shop here. But we're just going to take the Phoenix instead, because it's part of the build. So yeah, Phoenix doesn't work the way I expected it to. And I don't think throughout this entire run that I actually noticed that it wasn't working the way I expected it to. So we are going to continue to play a 4 squad. And you'll see in a second why that doesn't make any sense. I could have just bought the lemon there. It is worth it, even though it's going to be overwritten by Crisp. Having the protective equipment is important to just absorb some snipes. With 21 HP, we can easily be deleted by a lot of things. And here's one of the things we can be deleted by. I remember weeks ago, I think I faced this exact same person. In fact, I know I did, and I complimented the team. They've been playing this Beluga Great One team like every day for 2 months or something like that. I honestly have no idea why they're still playing it, but hopefully Kraken gets nerfed soon and we can stop seeing that. Actually, I guess Great One probably needs a bit of a nerf too. But what happens here is we end up getting the triple Stego. So I'm going to sell off the Cyclops, which gave me enough gold to buy a couple, as we actually face a Broken Bench here. I'll link to their YouTube channel in the description. Yeah, we get the triple Cyclops. Rather, we get the triple Stego, and we could have kept the Cyclops to get an extra chocolate here. Because in my head, I was assuming that when Phoenix is activated by Anubis, it's going to spawn the young Phoenix at the start of battle. But as you can see at this stage, no young Phoenix is being spawned. It is only activating the Crisp, which is kind of weird and I think a bit counterintuitive. You would expect it to do both, but instead it allows us to play Phoenix with a Mushroom at the front, which is very strong. And we are going to win here. So yeah, I also had Microbe in the pack. If I didn't get Phoenix, maybe I was going to try Microbe with Turtle, but I feel like it's just not that great. And in the current customs meta, you really need some of the stronger pets if you're going to go for these oddball teams to have any kind of chance to make them work. So the Turtle gets fainted here, which means that its ability from the Anubis does not go off. That's one of the few limitations of Anubis, is that if you get sniped, or if the faint pet gets sniped, the ability does not get triggered. as we end up with another draw there by 1 HP. But we are now going to have the level 3 Phoenix, so that should mean that everything gets Crisp at the start of battle. It would be nice to have the Unicorn. You can see it in the shop there, but it's way too late now. We'll just go for the level 2 Turtle instead. And yeah, we're using the pivot slot to buy sell the toys as well. Again, you know, this opposing team looks very large when you first see it, but Phoenix is so good at whittling these teams down that we are going to win comfortably again. I think probably it would have been nice to have had some of the other food items, and maybe I didn't think through the pack properly, but I could have put in, you know, broccoli or you know, even something as simple as peach, anything to give us more HP and try and make sure that everything survives. Now this team has a beluga. Is it going to have Great One in it? Make your guesses now. But we cover everything with crisp, so the backline units are basically guaranteed to be fainted because they're going to get 2 rounds of crisp. It's just so strong. And yes, it is a Great One. But luckily the turtle hangs on and actually gets us to trade. So we'll buy sell the oyster and then bring in this cat just to double up the value on the 2 food items. Of course, one of them hits the cat. And we're getting close to level 3 stego. And I did buy the mushroom on the turtle just to make sure that the Anubis gets the buffs from the turtle. I think there, did I just hover over the beluga to see what was in there? I guess it's going to be another Great One. I didn't actually see the dialogue pop up. So the Jersey Devil gets KO'd by the crisp, and the turkey's going to follow suit. So even if it is a Great One in here, we should be okay. They do get Sabertooth, and it is Great One, of course, but we get the win. So level 3 stego is actually pretty pointless now because the Anubis is already going to be at 50-50. I guess I could have brought in another unit and then sold the turtle. I'm not sure if there was anything in the pack, you know, that would have benefited from having the high stats, you know, like Warthog or anything. I can't remember. But here you see the double application of crisp from the 2 different Phoenixes. And in fact, it's another Great One team. Is that 3 Great Ones in a row? I guess because we're in the kind of draw vortex. It's more likely that you're going to face these types of squads that are repeatedly drawing or have drawn many times in the early game in order to get their setup going. But yeah, our Phoenix has, you know, extremely low stats for this late in the game, and yet it's still engineering these wins and draws. It's just that good. Now here's another Great One squad, although their Great One is in the form of an evil book. And we are going to kill the deer at the back and therefore cover over the bus with the bus's chili with crisp as well. So the crisp gets 2 kills at the back. Great One comes out, and I think, yeah, it's just going to be a tie. So yeah, it's difficult for us to improve our squad at this point. The scaling from the mammoth, it doesn't matter on the Anubis itself. I should just be buying food onto the Phoenix and the stego. And this is kind of funny, you know, whenever you face these teams, the hedgehog blowfish teams, they're so dependent on the equipment, and just erasing everything with crisp, it's so nice. We did end up losing the mushroom on the Phoenix, but it just doesn't make as much difference as the hedgehogs on the opposing side losing all their mushrooms. So yeah, those are basically the exact type of opponents that we want to face at this stage, that are just going to crumble when they're faced with a crisp on every single pet. So we're getting through the mammoths eventually. Yeah, might as well just freeze the cow. And this is more like the kind of team that you expect to see, you know, the almost all level 3s, multiple 50-50 units. And yeah, although we almost killed a leopard here, it's not going to make any difference because they have lionfish as well. And the 50 attack is going to instant kill the stego. But we do have some hearts left, so hopefully we can draw some more hedgehog blowfish teams. Yeah, just feed the Phoenix at this stage. And then buy sell oyster. Look for another pill, and we actually get one in the next roll, which is nice. So all 3 mammoths have been pilled. They've all fulfilled their destinies. And then I try to roll with no gold left. And then this happens. So imagine surviving to turn 21 only to face this. It is turn 21, and we are facing suboptimal with two level 3 Anubises and then 3 lionfish. Absolutely grotesque team. I remember the days when Sub used to play meme teams, but obviously he's turned to the dark side now. So we got absolutely destroyed there, and he didn't lose a single unit. But we still have 1 heart left, 1 chance to get the win with this oddball 4 squad. And it gives me another hedgehog team. Funnily enough, it is Anubis as well. So the hedgehogs are just going to delete each other and nothing's going to come back because all the mushrooms are gone. Funny really to face the 2 extremes of the Anubis builds at the very end. But I guess the hedgehog variant is pretty likely to draw a lot of games and get to the 20s. So here are some clips of variants. So this is one where I don't actually have the Anubis. I just have the unicorn instead. But we're going for a Phoenix build anyway. Turn 17 this time. 9 trophies. Again, we're on 1 heart. Now here I buy the eagle and I turn down the mushroom, where because I know that the mushroom is going to get overwritten by the Phoenix, and all I had to do to win this was buy that mushroom. Because we faced this wipe team with basically all level 3s. And maybe it could have been a tie. I guess it depends what came out of the eagle. But I think I had a pretty strong chance of winning there if I just bought that mushroom. And then here's another one. This time we do actually have both of the pets that I wanted from tier 4 in the unicorn and Anubis. We only have the level 1 Phoenix, but look at this abomination on turn 13. Level 3 Jerboa, level 3 Owl, level 3 Cobra on turn 13. And yeah, we never stood a chance here when the Cobra is sniping for 27 damage every time. What a high roll. Actually, I don't know, is that a high roll? There's a case to be made that that's not that big a high roll because Jerboa and Owl are relatively low tier. But we get the Phoenix to level 2 now. Again, I'm playing here with the 4 squad, but this time it's because the Eagle needs space rather than the Phoenix, because we've discovered at this point that the Phoenix is not going to spawn a young Phoenix, even if there is a gap. And something funny is going to happen here. The Pteranodon resummons a 1/1 young Phoenix. Don't normally see tokens being brought back by Pteranodon. We'll go for level 3, although we can't get it this turn unless we end up, or we can't get it this game unless we end up tying. So I'm just going to take the stat food and then hope that the crisp is enough here because we won't get the full coverage guaranteed. And look at the team it matches us with. They have a 1/1 level 3 fake snake from Chimera. You can see the unicorn in action there healing up our team. One of the downsides with it though is that it doesn't heal itself, so you are basically guaranteed to take the crisp damage every turn, unless you have 2 unicorns. But in this case it didn't matter and we ended up getting the win. So Phoenix and Anubis definitely ultra strong pets, but I think nice to use them in a little bit of an unconventional way.